ladies and gentlemen. You know what time of the month it is. It's Halloween! And today we have a horror story for this occasion. It's called The Haunted Theater. Please like and subscribe and enjoy!
There is a story that is waiting to be told, that has been waiting to be heard for a very long time, due to the phantom's broken heart. Have you ever heard of Royal Wood's Haunted Theater, right? You haven't? Where do I begin then? Back in the 1900s, the Royal Woods Theater was one of the best places to be to put on a show, but there was one show that didn't get to play at that theater. That play was called The Phantom Heart. It was said to be the best play of the year, and the lead actor Leo and actress Ruby were to be starred in. But on the night of the opening play, the theater went up in flames and the backstage was caught on fire. Everyone managed to get out of the building before it started to fall apart. But only Ruby managed to get out, leaving Leo in the burning building. As the fire went out, there was a search party looking for Leo, but all they found was his body in a pile of scrap. But it was too late to save him because he had passed on. After they found the body, reporters asked Ruby what had happened backstage the night of the flame.
We had gotten into a fight, and I was so mad I stormed off.
With some people questioning her, there was another witness. The stage crew said that Ruby was cheating on Leo with one of the crewmates, to which Leo had died to a heartbreak that night. Soon after the theater went into flames, Ruby and the crewmate got married. After what happened, to which left people disliking her, and the theater's case was still open, but only half of the theater went into flames. But the other half wasn't touched by a single flame. But in memory of Leo, they had his picture in the center of the theater in honor of his hard work and his acting skills. As for Ruby, she couldn't get back into action and was not able to get back into the limelight again after what she did. Till this day, the theater is still open, with its play going on. Now it is 2025. A group of new actors and actresses have taken to the stage of Royal Woods Theater. They had asked the owner if they could hold one of their plays. The owner was puzzled and asked what play they weren't wanting to do. But when they said Phantom Heart, to which made the owner's heart and face go pale, after hearing that name. With what they saw on the owner's face, the group asked why he was so scared about that name. Before they could get any answer, the owner asked them to leave and come back later. As for the group left, it was in the lobby, and they noticed a big picture of Leo in a phantom costume that was going to be in a play that they were doing. Later on that day, the group headed to a diner and talked about how strange the theater owner was and the show that they were doing. But they were so confused about why the theater owner was so scared, but couldn't wrap their heads around it. So they parted ways and headed home. Till Ava happened to notice an old newspaper on the ground. When she picked it up, she noticed the headline of the news. Royal Woods Theater had gone up into flames before Phantom Heart started the play. With the confusion in her eyes, she kept reading and found out more. In the 1900s, there were two actors that were doing the same play as them. But on the opening night, one of the lead actors had died in that fire with a broken heart, to which made her realize why the owner was so scared about the play that they were doing. As Ava gotten home and rushed into research about Royal Woods Theater, what happened next shocked her to her bones. The theater was haunted after that fire. But she found videos of people sneaking into the theater late at night. Then the video of the people who stayed overnight were left horrified to their core. That made Ava rewatch the videos over and over again till she saw someone in the backstage with a cape and a blood mask. After what Ava saw in the video, she called the group over to her place and showed them what she found out of the theater, to which made their faces turn white. And now that they know of what had happened and seen the video of people staying over our night, caused them to realize why the owner was so scared about the play being put on again. The next day, the group came back to the theater and were in the owner's office asking if the night of the theater went into flames. The owner gave in and told them about the night when he was younger and how Leo was left backstage to die alone, with his heart broken, with tenderness and pity over the story. But Ava asked what happened after Leo's death. The owner said that the play started acting strange. Things shouldn't be in the dressing rooms, lights being flickered on and off, customers getting scared, and costumes coming out of nowhere, and boxes and shadows moving. We have the paranormal investigators that came out here once, and when they met the phantom of the theater, they said that Leo had unfinished business and wanted to leave, to which made him have this place haunted in the first place, but of all his hauntings being the cause of his accident, and made them never came back because they were so scared of what Leo was doing. They called me and said that he was way too powerful and that he didn't remember his accident, that he was killed. Ava had asked if the phantom had amnesia, and that's why he can't remember what happened that night. The owner said that he did some research about the ghosts and how they experience forgetting what they did in their past was due to the memories being fuzzy or them being blackout of that event that had happened before the fire. Both of them agreed that Leo had amnesia and didn't remember what had happened. Everyone agreed that they would try their best when they were doing to stay overnight to confront him about the hauntings and his past. The theater owner agreed to their request, but was cautious. Do not touch the painting in the central hall of the theater because it was Leo's picture. People say that his energy comes from that picture. Back then, in memory of Leo, we had to hang his picture in the play so that he was supposed to be in the night it went into flames. So if I were you, I would be careful tonight. And once I close those doors, there is no coming out for you guys. As the group agreed to the terms of the owner, and later that night, they came back and they were full gear, sleeping bags, food, flashlights. As the owner locked up the doors for the night, everyone looked around before they got everything ready. The group decided to split into two, while one went to search in the lounge, while the others looked in the backstage and in the dressing rooms. But Ava was in the middle of the hallway right by Leo's picture, feeling grief and sadness of what came over Leo that night. She promised herself that she would fix things tonight and help him move on. Right before Ava could move, one of the doors opened to an unauthorized zone in the theater. As the lights behind her started to turn off, she ran to the door that was open, and all the lights turned off, leaning inside of the room's lights on. Before she could stay out of that room, the door behind her was locked, and she was locked inside. She was stuck in that room, trapped, but there was no exit. Am I taking advantage of the lights? She looked around the room, but found piles of boxes and books and scripts from previous plays, and a bunch of photos too of Leo with a woman. Ava wondered who this woman was right beside Leo, but she kind of looked familiar with her long curly hair and red lipstick and dress. I should turn the photo around. It said Ruby and Leo. I guess I'll be taking this. The day before the play started. They looked so happy. What made Ruby decide to cheat on him? I should put this photo in her pocket. And looked around. She noticed a box, a very small one. And as she opened it, it was a diamond ring in a small box. I noticed that this was an engagement ring, but the box looked very old and torn apart. The gemstone in the middle of the engagement ring was a ruby. Ava thought that this engagement ring was Leo's. Was he going to propose to her that night before the play, or during the final round of the play? As Ava put the ring in her bag and went around looking again, she noticed that the door behind her was open, but the lights turned on. As Ava left the room with the box and with the picture, another trail of lights was leading her in a different direction of the theater. But as for the others, they found costumes, decorations, and food. But one of them found a broken mask that was split into two, and with a name engraved in the back. It was Leo. One of them was thinking of whose mask that was used in the Phantom card. Over time, they managed to find enough evidence along with the cape, letter, and newspaper. Or before they could decide, they had to look for Ava. She was still nowhere to be found. The group later on split to when to go find her. One went to the main stage of the theater, as well as the others went upstairs. But with Ava, she was still walking around on the second floor. She noticed another one of the dressing rooms. It was very far from the others. There was a star engraved with the name, but she couldn't recognize the name. But as she opened the door, very old dust and cobwebs tossed fabric over the furniture. When she entered the room, the door shut itself, locking herself in. As Ava put her bag down and uncovered all of the furniture, she noticed that on a table that there were a bunch of letters and photos. As she read through, some of the letters were from fans, but there were two letters that were different. One was from Ruby, and another was from a private investigator. Judging by the photos, I guess Ruby and Leo were a big thing back then. When she opened one of Ruby's letters, it looked like an apology letter to Leo.
Dear Leo, my love, I'm very sorry for what I've done. I'll explain everything when I get to the theater tomorrow. It's not what it looks like. It's better if we talk in person before the show starts. What you saw was a mistake. I'm sorry, but I just can't do this anymore. I'm in love with another. But things can't work out this way. I'm really sorry, but I don't want to see you again after the show. From Ruby.
As soon as Ava finished reading the letter, it was a breakup letter and a final goodbye. What really happened between them before everything turned out so bad? As Ava opened the private investigator's letter, there were photos with it.
Dear Mr. Leo, I came with the photos and a letter of my regards. I'm sorry to say this, but you're right, she cheated. Having the photos of her and her lover going around town and going shopping and everything. I'm really sorry things had to end this way, sir. Especially since you're about to propose. I suggest that you don't get rid of that ring and find someone else who loves you. From Special Agent Tony.
Leo really did die of a broken heart that night before everything went into flames. I should put the letter down on the table, where it belongs. And there should be a switch somewhere to open the door. As Ava walked towards the walls, She noticed a switch and pulled it. One of the switches opened a compartment behind the bookshelf, a costume that belonged to the play that Leo was starring in, along with his diary that had a bookmark in it. When Ava opened the book, there were pages filled with writing and ink still seeable.
Dear Diary, I received a letter from Ruby. After what I witnessed at her house, she was with her lover. It's clearly that she cheated and didn't love me like I did with her. The private investigator is right. After I received the photos, I don't know if I should believe her now at this point. Tonight, I was going to make her mine, finally, with this ring. And now, there's no point in this ring, nor us anymore. But the show must go on.
Right after finishing that line in Leo's diary, that was the last page that he wrote that night before meeting Ruby and her lover. But after reading Leo's letters and his diary, she felt sadness and dread over her. For now I know what Leo had gone through and didn't remember what had happened that night. Ava was so lost in thought that she didn't even hear the door lock making a clinking sound. I guess it's time to go. Right as Ava opened the door, everything went dark in pitch blackness. For the rest of the group met in the lobby, but they couldn't find Ava. They looked all over the place, but not the theater's main stage. Right then left them horrified when they got into the main stage. They found Ava's lifeless body laying on the stage. Before they could do anything, there was a mist all over the theater's seats, and coming from the backstage. Right then the Phantom came in flying, holding little fireballs. The group took Ava to a safe place in one of the booths of the inside of the theater, and the Phantom was chasing them all over the place. But the Phantom was muttering something. One of the guys could hear what he was saying. He was looking for his ring. But one of them pointed out that it was in the middle of the stage where Ava was laying. Right then, Ava opened her eyes and looked at her team and asked what had happened while she was out. As they told her what had happened, she turned over to see the Phantom wandering through the stage looking for the ring that he was missing. Ava asked them where her bag was. As she'd gone through her bag, she asked where the box had the ring inside. They told her that was in the middle of the stage where the Phantom was. Ava knew that she had to go and get the ring back. She told her team to keep hiding until it was all over. They questioned her for what she was about to do, but Ava told them to get out of the main theater and head to the lobby till morning. Right then, Ava ran to the stairs and made a run for it to the stage. But the Phantom coming closer to the stage, Ava grabbed the ring, and the Phantom was behind her. She reached out with her hand to the Phantom when everything went into darkness. She looked around and desperately finding a way out, but it was pitch black darkness. There was a light from the stage shining on something. Ava started to head towards the light, but once she got there, the light was shining on a man in the middle crying. Ava asked why he was crying. As the man looked up to see her, it was Leo, the actor that had died in the fire. Leo was still crying. He told her that his girlfriend cheated on him before he could propose to her that night. At the end of the show, Ava showed him the letters and the ring that was in his dressing room. Leo took the letters and the ring and smiled at Ava. When Leo gotten up and bowed to Ava, like at an end of a show, he started to disappear. And what had happened left made a tear on the Phantom's face. With no Phantom in sight, all the lights came on, and Ava was sitting in the middle of an empty stage. After what had happened, Ava returned to her group with the owner of the theater, but no one can see her. But the theater doors flew open. All of them saw Ava's body on the stage. With what Ava saw and looked at herself in the mirror, she found herself dead. She desperately called out to them, but none of them couldn't hear her. When she got closer to them and trying to get their attention, she could see tears falling down their faces, looking at her lifeless body. Soon the medical team came to get her body, but she couldn't come outside the theater, for she was trapped. And now that she can't leave the theater, she became the phantom of Royal Woods Theater, and forevermore haunts it till next phantom is come. For this terror of the story has come to a close. Another shall rise. Until next time, have a horrorful night.